Hi folks, I'm Will Bridges from 123 Trade. In this video, we're going to give a weekly forecast. We're going to take a look at the economic calendar forecast data, figure out what that might mean for us on the chart. Looks like there's a lot of great news coming out of Europe. Christine Lagarde actually gave a speech this morning at 10:30. Well, that's Eastern time here in the United States. There's lots of PMI numbers, that's Purchasing Manager Index numbers coming out in Europe this week. Lots of other numbers. Crude oil inventories is going to come out again this week, obviously, but we're going to cover a lot. I'm going to cover live charts. I'm going to cover the economic calendar. This is really traders news. I don't really have a reason to have CNN or Fox News or any of those people tell me how the economy is doing. I can go look at the numbers myself, and so can you. I'm going to show you how to in this video. If you want more content like this, if you like the videos, then by all means, click the like button, subscribe. You're going to want to click the bell so you get notifications. And if you allow Google to send them to you, then you can find out as soon as this type of time-sensitive information gets released. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Got to cover our base. Everything in this video will be for educational purpose only. You do with the information what you think is best, but you do have to risk it to get the biscuit, folks. There's no such thing as a guaranteed trade or investment. Fairy tales. Anyways, let's get over to the calendar. Let's get to the cool part, people. And let's start up here at the top. And what I like to do, this is on forexfactory.com. Okay, so I come to the filter and I just want to look at the high and the medium impact stuff. Because medium impact, sometimes those are high impact, but they don't show them because there's a lot of them. And I'll give you an idea of what I mean by that as we go through this list. But first thing I want everybody to notice is that this morning, Christine Lagarde came out and spoke. She used to work at the International Monetary Fund. She's a politician, not as much an economist, but now she runs the European Central Bank, so we should probably listen to see what she says and what she thinks. And Christine Lagarde is saying that the ECB still has room for more rate cuts if needed. That is a vastly different tune than the U.S. government is singing right now. So the bank there is basically dovish, which means that they are trying to push down the value of the euro, which is, well, let's keep that in mind. You have to know what the bank wants, okay, because that's very likely to be the trend direction that happens. If the bank wants cheap euros, that's probably what the bank's going to get. Probably not going to be constant, because when we come down here and we look at this here, this Purchasing Managers Index for manufacturing, in the euro area here, this 59, everything over 50 is a bullish number for the euro. So not quite as strong as it was last month as far as French manufacturing goes, but that's a bullish manufacturing number, and that's one that traders should follow. PMIs are going to be extremely important. Germans, PMI, also looking strong. Services look like they're even stronger than they have been. Services is a big deal. The banking industry in Germany is a massive deal for Europe, and they're really one of the, I think they probably are the strongest economy in the Eurozone. If we keep moving down here, UK numbers are also going to be coming out on Wednesday. Those are very bullish. I don't know if you guys see that, 64. That's the Purchasing Manager Index. Anything over 50 is optimistic. That's good. So 60s is extremely good. I'm very hot on the pound with that type of information. And, you know, they're also more hawkish as a bank. The central bank in the UK is thinking more along the lines of, well, we're probably going to have to raise interest rates. Inflation is strong. You know, the euro area is kind of doing the opposite. So it's probably, you know, going to be very good for the pound that they left this year if they want to control the inflation that's going on with the pound. Canada here, core retail sales. Canada looks to be in a little bit of the mud. Okay, so Canada has declining bad retail sales numbers. People aren't buying stuff. That's not good. So that is going to be weakening signal for the CAD. You kind of want to pay attention to that, as well as oil. The central bank in Canada is also very wait and see. They want to know what the American bank is going to do before they ever make a move most of the time. So more than likely, they're probably still somewhat hawkish based on what the U.S. is doing, but the economy is not quite performing. Same thing could be said for maybe the U.S. with certain numbers here. Retail sales have been kind of weak here also, but inflation numbers have been strong. So At a certain point, the bank's going to have to curb that, and the easiest way for them to do it is by raising rates. So the asset purchase facility here in the UK, this is something that I've been paying a lot of attention to for a good number of months, and one of the main reasons why is because this is really the Bank of England's balance sheet. This is what they're buying. So they're going to come out and say, we're going to buy X billions of pounds worth of treasury bonds, whatever it is. They're going to buy their own stock. That's really what that means. They're going to basically sell debt and buy it back. So they're trying to pump up the value of British debt by buying their own, which, looks like a pretty high number here. If we go to the graph here, we can actually click this. This is why I love this site. You can see how much they've ramped that up in the last year. So the bank has gotten very active in trying to pump their own stock, i.e. the value of the pound, the Great British Pound, pound sterling, quid, whatever the heck you want to call it. Bottom line, the bank is dedicated to the game, and they, may even ramp this up higher. They're probably going to do something similar to what the U.S. is doing. They may taper this off as they raise interest rates here in the coming months. Well, actually, really, I should say years, because they're not talking about really raising rates until 2023 here in the U.S. I think that they're negotiating with the market. I think they started high, as in far away, and they're just going to inch that number closer so that they can have, less of an impact than if they came out right away and said, yeah, we need to raise rates, in 6 months. Because that may end up being what they have to do, but they couldn't tell everybody that and cause panic in the markets. So they're going to piecemeal us. But, asset purchase facility in the UK, this is something that you need to pay attention to, because this is going to be a driver for pound strength. And, this type of information is available for free. You didn't see me put in a password anywhere here, folks. So if you want to get this type of information, just come to Forex Factory and check it out. I don't work for them. I just use their information every day. And really just kind of once a week, I want to get a narrative for myself and figure out what pairs might be hot. I've got a little bit of maybe a trade of the week we might look for here in a moment. And obviously we're going to have our own client-only presentations that we do every Friday. You do have to get invited to those. All you have to do is fund a trading account, and we can actually get you free access, and you can come to them live, ask questions, make a request. So if you want to know more about, Dogecoin or whatever it is, then by all means, ask us. Put it in our private Facebook group and we'll hook you up. But there's more information on our website, 123trade.com. If you have questions, send us an email to brokers@123trade. And if you click show more in the section below here, then there's, a whole breakdown of what's in this video and some other links for you to check out as well. But let's keep on moving here, folks. So that's about it for massive announcements this week. This official bank rate not expected to change. That's why that's, medium importance level, because you need to pay attention. If they change it, it's a big deal. If they do what people expect them to do, which is nothing, then it won't be that big of a deal. Unemployment claims is expected to come down here in the U.S. That is positive. We are already bullish on the USD after the change in tune from Jerome Powell last week. So realistically speaking, this could be another positive number to look for more bullish activity on the US dollar this week. So I'm going to be bullish on the dollar. I'm going to be bullish on the pound. I'm going to be bearish on the euro. And otherwise, we can go ahead and take a look at that type of stuff. Let's go ahead and get a chart up here. And if we're going to be, bearish on the euro, bullish on the dollar, then the EUR USD is a very good place for us to start. So let's go ahead and hit up the high time frame here. Let's go to the month. And I think this one has legs to come down. And obviously this is Forex. You can make money in either direction. Okay, very similar to, maybe options trading. If you go short, as in if you wanted to make money on this chart going downward, basically you're not buying the euro, you're just buying the dollar with euros. That's how you go short in the Forex. That's really all that's happening, is that if I can either buy the euro or I can buy dollars. So if I think this chart's going to go down, I might want to buy dollars. That's pretty much what sell means on a Forex chart like this. But let's keep on moving here. I know a lot of you that are watching this video have already learned information like that, but a lot of people don't understand. You can make money both ways. Okay, so this is our long-term trend here. Both of these look up to me, and I'm sure to you as well. This is all of the data we have for the Euro USD. And one thing that we do notice here is that on the bottom here, the reason why I drew this line on the bottom is because we have a low, we've got a higher one here, and we have a higher one here, okay? Other interesting thing to point out is that we have a high right here, and we have a lower high right there, okay? So there's a very good chance, in my mind, that we at least make a higher low somewhere down here. Why not? Seems to be making a pretty strong move downward right now. The Federal Reserve here in the United States has come out and said that they are basically dedicated to keeping the dollar within the range that it's been in the last 5 years. I may show that real quick before we get out of here. But if they're going to be dedicated to strong dollars and Europe is dedicated to weak euros, then, I might as well not fight fate. If that's what the bank wants, let's work down to our weekly time frame here. Currently, we are getting a little bit of a pump upwards, okay? And obviously that is just a factor of people taking profit. And there's also lots of good news, PMI numbers. So the economy is doing well there. So that is going to pump demand for the euro, but the bank is kind of working the opposite direction. So this is going to do, in my opinion, what I'm expecting is that wave downward. And a lot of that is going to come down to, let's get rid of these purple circles here, and I'll give you guys a better idea of what I'm looking at. Because this may come up until at least maybe Wednesday when all these numbers get released. This might be another one of those buy the rumor, sell the news type of things that's going on with the euro, because the rumor, the forecast, is that all the PMI numbers are going to be very strong. So this trend line that we've got here that we just broke, okay, we may have a very nice 1, 2, 3 opportunity here, and this could be something that we could work for weeks to come. This thing could come a lot lower. There's a heavy price level down here around 114.9 that for whatever reason on this day, way back here, and it looks like, March of 2020, that was important for some reason. So maybe we come back and we test that price. That is, 400 or 500 pips away. There's going to be lots of opportunity this week. We've got more videos coming out later in the week. Let's take a quick look at the US dollar. I know I did tease you guys on this. There's going to be a lot more huge opportunities. I'm expecting this to be one of the more active summers to ever happen. Typically, the summer is a little bit more of a consolidative time of year, and we see a lot more volatility in the fourth quarter, first quarter. Typically that's going to be where a lot of traders make most of their money. Okay, this year is a little different. A lot of economies just opened. Okay, so there's a lot of people that haven't done anything for a long time. There's a lot of policies that are changing and opening, and this is a way different summer than we've ever seen. Flat out, way different than last year. If you guys remember last June, I was just say I don't really remember much of last June because I don't think I got to do very much. I think I sat inside, I read a lot of things on my computer, but I made mention of a range that I think that, the U.S. Federal Reserve might be dedicated to here. And this is what I'm talking about right here. So we've got these lows down here on the bottom. Okay, and this is really where our close prices are on the top. I don't think that they want out of this range. As soon as we got down to the bottom, this thing inched sideways. Janet Yellen came out. She started saying how good it would be for the Federal Reserve and society if we raise interest rates. The cost of money needs to go up. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. But what that means to me is that they're dedicated to keeping the dollar strong, and specifically when they made those moves was right at the bottom of this box. So that tells me that if we start to fall out of this box, the Federal Reserve may get more aggressive, and they may do more work to try to push this thing up because of when they chose to make that decision. And they were really creepy weird about it. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if they did something like that. We also have on the chart here all of the manifestations of a change in trend direction on the dollar that, a trader could hope to have. Okay, so there is our trend line break, and here is a low that occurred. Here is a higher one. Okay, so yes, maybe this comes down a bit. Is it going to be a strong bull move through the ceiling? Who knows? Probably not. But the truth of the matter is, the Fed came out, they showed their true colors. They are hawkish on the dollar right now, and that's really one of the main things that I think is important for everybody to understand is what the bank is thinking, because when you get to start thinking like a banker, that's when you can start making some money trading the Forex. And really, you can do it sooner than that. You just have to take the technical cues from the market when they show up. You don't have to know all of this stuff, but it is very nice to go through and read the chart and figure out what trade might be the most awesome, because one bank wants, valuable dollars and the other wants cheap euros. Sounds like a canary in the coal mine to me, but if you guys like the video, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Why haven't you already done that? Subscribe, ring the bell. We've got lots more to come out. I mean, we're going to keep coming out with videos every day. If you want to get involved in the client-only sessions, then send us an email to brokers@123trade.com. Visit our website for more information. If you have questions about the bonuses, we have up to $22,000 in free stuff that you can really get just for funding a trading account through us. So, like I said, hit us up if you have questions. Again, I'm Will Bridges from 123 Trade. You guys be good or be good at it. Take care, folks.